Welcome back to season. What is this, Dale? Season two? No, not two.
Four.
Four. Four
Four.
of the Kingdom Corner
Man.
podcast. Here we are, Dale. Unfortunately, our record and streak of an undefeated podcast season came to end last year in heartbreaking defeat in the Super Bowl. But we're on to 2025, right? As Bill
That's right.
Belichick said, you know, we're on to the Chiefs or whoever the next opponent is. So we are on to the next opponent. We are on to 2025, and we have lots to cover. So this episode, we're going to be looking at, off-season acquisitions, off-season losses, some
Oof.
draft stuff, some things coming out of the OTAs, and even the NFL schedule. So lots to go over today, Dale, but all of it's going to be great. So come hang out with us.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions.
How about those Chiefs?
All right, Dale. So how are we doing? How are we feeling about the 2025 Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I think you said it right. I mean, we're on to the next season. Here we are. I mean, a bitter end to 2024 for us as Chiefs fans. Not the showing we want to see. Still, I've watched highlights of the Super Bowl. Have not watched the Super Bowl in its totality. And so, yeah, definitely. But on to 2025. Exciting, with the three wide receivers, Travis Kelce coming back looking thinner than ever. Even though
he is.
So he looks motivated. Pat Mahomes with the new haircut. I mean, my goodness, a lot is going to be happening. Spags is still our defensive coach. I mean, yes, a lot to be excited about for the 2025 season.
Yeah, lots of good things. Hey, I'll say you're a better man than me. I haven't even watched a highlight of that Super Bowl. I have no desire. Anytime someone starts speaking about it, I just turned it off. Can't do it. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be a man of the cloth, so to speak. So, supposed to, forgive and all those things. And not that I'm holding grudges, but man, that was just such a hard loss. And and even how they lost it just made it even more difficult. But on to 2025. So let's jump into some of the off-season moves the Chiefs out. Let's first start with some of the people that re-signed with other teams. So not re-signed with the Chiefs. So anybody that the Chiefs lost that you're got your eye on? So just to give you a few of the key players, remind you, it's been a month or so. Joe Thuney traded to the Bears. DeAndre Hopkins, I know he's getting older and maybe didn't get used as much as we were hoping, or however you want to phrase that, but he signed with the Ravens. Justin Reed signs with the Saints. And man, the guy who maybe had his breakout season, not maybe did, Tashard Wharton signs with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And so there's a few others mixed in there as well, and Chiefs re-signed a few. But any of those that stick out to you as maybe the guy that maybe shouldn't have been able to allowed to walk out the door?
Joe Thuney. Definitely was one of those guys. I mean, I felt like he still had a lot of football, but like the Chiefs are kind of turning into the Patriots, where they kind of let guys go a year early before a year late, and so and I know Tooney's been playing a long time, but just having what he did for us in the 24 season was just incredible. I mean, to move from left guard to left tackle and to play like that, the way he did was just incredible. And then the Wharton, I'm just happy for Wharton. He's
absolutely,
so just happy for that guy, for the kid. Excited for him to see what he can do. And so I'm glad he's in the NFC, just like Joe Thuney. NFC, we're not going to worry about those guys until the Super Bowl.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, excited for Tashard Wharton. I'll say when they traded Joe Thuney, though, that caught me off guard. I was not expecting it.
Yeah.
Because, they were talking about between, Nick Bolton and Trey Smith, are they going to release one? Are they going to sign one? They end up signing Nick Bolton to a big deal and franchise tagging Trey Smith, making him the highest paid guard in the NFL on that tag. But either way, still got him on the team. And then they trade Joe Thuney. I mean,
man.
If you would give me a list of like the top 10 players on the team that could not be traded or that the Chiefs would not trade, I would have had Joe Thuney on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, just what a guy, culture guy. Probably helped Creed Humphrey a ton and Trey Smith a ton. Just
Yeah.
being in that room, and so that's going to be the offensive line, as we'll talk about here in a moment, is going to look a lot different this year.
Yeah. And to give you a little idea of the kind of money that Jashard Wharton spoke or signed for. So he's 27, going into his fifth or sixth year, I believe. I think probably his fifth year.
Yeah,
And he signed a 3-year contract worth $45 million. So hey, good job,
yes,
Wharton. Hey, hats
yes,
off to
yeah,
you. I loved how you played last year. Wish you could still be with the Chiefs, but I also understand it's a business at the end of the day too,
yeah,
and you can't re-sign everybody. But I'll say the one who I think is going to be the biggest surprise as far as who we're going to be missing next year, Justin Reed. And I
yeah.
know, I
Oh, I know,
know,
I know, I
I know
know.
you're the guy that is sitting here like, man, I can't wait for this day to come where Justin Reed could be moving on. And I'm telling you right now, that is a position that I know they think that these safeties that they have, these second and third
Yeah.
year guys, are going to step into this role. Uh, but I'm telling you, I'm calling it today
All
on
right.
June 19th. Uh, I'm calling it
All
today,
right.
though,
Yeah.
that Justin Reed is going to be a huge missing piece on that defense.
Well, yeah, it's the perfect day for that to
That's
be
right.
declaimed.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. So hey, that it is what it is. But
There you
hey,
go.
I
No,
think
I agree with you. I mean, I know I've been hard on Justin Reed, but I mean, I think it's because we had the Honey Badger, but I don't know if those kids are ready to step up in the role because it is a big leadership role. I mean, you're trying to get the back end of the defense, the DBs, everybody, in the right situation. So hopefully Brian Cook will be up for the challenge. I know there'll be other guys back there, but yeah, I mean, Spags, as long as Spags is there, we'll be fine. Like I've always said from the beginning about Spags.
yeah, from the beginning. Yeah, I'm
So
sure that's exactly how it
yeah,
went down. Yeah, so they're going to have some of these guys really step in, and so I know that Brian Cooks has played
yeah,
that starting role right next to him, but they have that other guy, man, who's a rookie, Jaden
Hicks.
Hicks. There you
Yep,
go,
Jaden
Jaden
Hicks.
Hicks. Mine went blank for a second. I think he's the guy they're thinking is going to be stepping into that Justin Reed role.
Right,
And I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of Justin Hicks. I'm not saying he's not going to be a great player, but
right.
just like anytime you lose a Pro Bowl caliber player,
Yeah.
um, it's not an easy position to replace.
No.
And I think that loss is going to loom huge as the season goes on. I think he played Justin Reed. He might not show up on the screen as much as the Honey Badger did,
The Honey Badger, yeah.
but man, he had his hat in wherever he was at.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
He
was
made
he
some
was in
big
there.
plays. He made
Yeah.
some big plays for us. And so, when you go from the ball hawk Eric Berry to the Honey Badger, and then you get Justin Reed, it's just like, okay, we're kind of scaling down here. But hopefully Cook and all those other Hicks will be just fill right in. Fill right in.
Hey,
So,
I hope you are right.
yeah.
I hope you're right. So, and I hope that's the case. So let's look at some of the guys that the Chiefs did sign, though.
Ooh, man.
So they re-signed a few of the guys they already had. They re-signed Aminique. They re-signed Marquise Brown. They signed Nick Bolton to a huge deal. They re-signed Mike Pennell. Re-signed Juju Smith-Schuster, Kareem Hunt. They also lost Miko Hardman. But here's some of the other guys uh, that they acquired from other teams from last year. I'll just name a few of them of note.
Uh-huh.
So Christian Fulton, the cornerback from the Chargers, came over.
Yeah.
Jerry Tillery, the defensive lineman from the Vikings.
Yeah.
Mike Edwards, who played for the Chiefs a few years ago, he's back with the Chiefs again this year. And Elijah Mitchell, the running back from the 49ers. And they also traded for, not traded, but they signed Jalen Moore also from the 49ers at the left tackle position. So, of those, who are you most excited to see in the Chiefs uniform, and who do you think will make the biggest impact?
Well, let me ask you, do you remember Donnie Edwards, the linebacker?
Yeah, I remember him. Absolutely. I mean, I am a Chiefs fan and not just
I
a
know.
casual.
Okay.
But yes,
All
I
right.
remember
Yes.
him.
All
I
right. I'm
remember
just testing you if you remember. I mean, a lot of people don't remember Donnie Edwards, man. That guy was a
that
linebacker. Man, he was
he was
so fun to
everywhere.
watch everywhere. Anyway, Nick Bolton. And we also franchise tag Trey Smith, which is of note. I mean, that's pretty big to franchise tag the right guard, one of the best right guards in the game. The guy that I think will probably give the most impact, I think will probably be the Moore kid. Will get the most impact because I think he'll play offensive line. Now, I don't know where he will play on the offensive line, but I think he will for sure play on offensive line. Elijah Moore, or not,
Elijah
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell and Fulton. They've dealt with injuries their whole career where they have not played, most of the year I think that Fulton kid I read where he only played like 15 games for 1 year, one season. And so not even a full season of playing. So I think it's just those two guys staying healthy and playing. But I think that Elijah Mitchell is a dynamic running back, and I think he can make a huge difference. Andy Reid's offenses. Andy Reid loves screens and running game. And so definitely I could see Elijah Mitchell being like, oh man, your mind went blank. Mine went blank. Who was number one? We love
talking about Jerick McKinnon.
Jarrett McKinnon. There you go. Yes, Jarrett McKinnon. Yeah.
Who also came from the 49ers.
Who also came from the 49ers. So I think he'd be one of those guys, just like, boom, just quick pass, going to get you what you need, and you're just going to do what you need them to do. And so I think that those three guys really stick out to me as in the signing.
Yeah, all solid options as well. I think that I think the injuries is going to play a key role as it does every year with every player, but especially those two guys you mentioned, with Fulton and Moore or Mitchell. I think those two guys who've dealt with those for so long, when they're on the field, they're great, but can they stay healthy and on the field? But I think with the running back room, what we have now, re-signing Kareem Hunt, where he doesn't have to, and Isaiah Pacheco coming back from that injury, so Pacheco's going to take the brunt of the work. Hopefully he's going to be back to his form at the beginning of last season, not coming off that injury. Kareem Hunt will be your big down back when you get down towards the goal line, so he's going to get a lot of those tough yardage.
Right.
And I think that'll work out great for him. Not, he's, same age as, not same age, but the same class as Patrick Mahomes. So he's, right around 30 already. And so as a running back, that's towards the end of your career, if not the end. And so to save some of those miles on him is going to be great. But, with all those guys, and they drafted, a running back out of SMU as well. So they got a full running back room. The question is, are all four of those guys going to be on the roster?
Right.
I mean, it's possible, but.
And don't forget about Carson Steele.
Yeah, one of those guys is not going to be. They're not going to keep five. They're not keeping five. I won't say that for sure because they surprise you every year with something. But I'd be surprised if they kept five running backs on their roster. So but Jerry Tillery, he had some huge years with the Vikings too. He didn't necessarily put up 10 sack years by any means, but he had a couple big years in there with Minnesota and also with the Chargers as well. Man, and I think if you had asked me last week, I would have said Jalen Moore, that tackle, who's going to make the biggest impact. However, getting into the draft picks for this year, that first round pick for the Chiefs, Simmons, Josh Simmons, Andy Reid said today he will be a full participant in the training camp.
Wow.
I mean, no one expected him to be that ready. And here he is, OTAs looking good, and already Andy Reid is saying full participant for training camp coming up.
Yeah.
So if he is even close to what he was prior to his injury, he will be the starting left tackle.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were saying that this guy didn't get hurt at the end of the year or in the college. He would have been the first offensive tackle taken. Easily. And so, but he got hurt, unfortunately, in his college career. But, with science and doctors and what they can do, it's pretty incredible that he come back. I mean, Aaron Rodgers came back from an Achilles rupture, and so did Kirk Cousins. And so, I just think, what they can do is pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So uh, I don't want to say an injury's ever good, but it might have worked out well for the Chiefs in this instance, at least,
Yeah.
to be able to get a guy of that nature at pick 32, trading back one
Yeah.
with the Eagles of all people,
Yeah.
to get Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. So, uh, yeah, it's looking good. So moving on to the draft,
Well,
and
what do you think about the our backup quarterback,
Gardner
Gardner
Minshew.
Minshew?
Uh, I think it's same about him as I think of every other backup. I hope we don't need him. So if we need him, we're in trouble
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know Dante Hall's the X factor, but I might put my contention in that Patrick Mahomes might be an X factor as well. So
Well, and I think like it's always cool to see like like with Brett Beach and Andy Reid and how they think. Like they didn't. I mean, unfortunate. It would be very, very unfortunate. We hope it never happens, right? Mahomes getting hurt, right, and coming out.
right,
But we've seen where Chad Henne's come in and done time. We've seen where Carson Wentz has played the last game of the year. We've seen where even Blaine Gabbert has come in.
yeah,
But like Gardner Minshew's experience, I mean, he's a veteran. I mean,
yeah,
he
he
he can
is,
win you games, and
yeah,
so he was the starter for the Raiders last year.
yeah.
So I just think, I think it's always clever what they're doing.
Yeah, well, and I'll say this, and you know this as well as I do, but
Yeah.
Andy Reid is a quarterback whisperer.
Oh yeah.
If he needs a guy to win him a game or two,
Yeah.
anybody who has even a shred of talent, he can get that quarterback to win you a game or two.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that he can get those guys to win you a full season's worth to get to the playoffs, but we pulled what was that guy Matt Moore,
Matt Moore. That's right.
Yeah, Matt
Science
Moore
teacher.
pulled him off teaching science after Chad Henne and Patrick Mahomes got injured. Pull him out of
Uh-huh.
science class, brought him in, started him for 3 games, and won 2 out of those 3 games. And I'd
Yeah.
argue he should have won all of those. I believe it was against the Packers we were
Yeah,
playing,
that's
and that's
right.
when LaShawn McCoy runs with the ball out like this, saying, "Catch me if you can." And they said, "We'll take that ball, thank you very much."
Yeah.
And he saw the sideline, and so I would argue the Chiefs should have won that game if it wouldn't have been for those costly and ill-timed fumbles because of how you're holding the ball.
And
So
I can't remember. Was did LaShawn McCoy play the rest of the year very much after that
no,
game? No.
if he got in at all, it was 1 or 2 snaps.
Yeah.
So I mean, he got himself a Super Bowl ring though out of
Yeah.
it. So
Oh yeah.
hey,
Oh yeah. Now
Super
he's on
Bowl
TV. Now he's on
Super Bowl
TV,
champion
man.
LaShawn McCoy. Hey, he left the Chiefs. You remember that when he left
Oh,
the
yeah.
Chiefs, how he was talking bad about the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
And now if you watch him on TV, it's like he's their biggest fan.
Oh,
it makes
yeah.
no sense.
No
So
sense.
I think he was just hurt that he didn't get the role he wanted to. Is what it really
yeah.
came down to. So and in the moment, it's hard to control all of your emotions and thoughts, and so you just say whatever's coming to mind.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not always the best philosophy for
Right.
that. So yeah, but hey, Andy Reid can make anybody a winner, including anybody like Gardner Minshew as well. So not that he's not a winner, not saying he's not, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So yeah, so I think that addresses most of the offseason moves. We don't need to dive into all of them because there's plenty of other people you can listen to for that.
Yeah.
If you want what real fans are thinking, though, this is where you need to be.
That's where you need
This
to be.
is where
Exactly.
you need to be.
Bingo.
The concise version, because we try to keep it under a certain time here. But
Yeah.
let's move on to draft picks. We got lots to cover. So we got Josh Simmons for the first round, tackle out of Ohio State. The second
Yeah.
round, we got Omar Norman-Lott, defensive
Yeah.
tackle out of Tennessee. Also, third round, have Ashton Gillette, the defensive end out of Louisville, which a lot of people are raving about him.
Yeah.
Got Noel Williams, the cornerback out of Cal. In the third round, fourth round, Jalen Royals, wide receiver out of Utah State. A lot of
Yeah.
people high about him as well.
Huh?
Linebacker out of Oregon, Jeffrey Besa in the fifth and seventh round to close it out. Running back out of SMU, Rashard Smith.
Yeah.
So of those, and I know it's easy to just say, Josh Simmons because he's the first pick, but
Right.
let's just say he's
Yeah.
out of the picture.
We're
here.
fired up about him anyway. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fired up. Glad to have him on
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
So of these other guys, who are you most excited for outside of Josh Simmons?
Yeah. I think the running back from SMU.
The seventh rounder. All right.
So, because I feel like Andy Reid, he just finds. I mean Brett Veach, but Andy Reid, like, you give him a weapon, and he's going to figure out what do you do, and I'm just going to exploit the defense with what you do well.
Yeah.
And I think a quick. I think his running back was a wide receiver at one point, and so he has hands. And so I just think he's probably super quick. Elusive in the backfield, and I think he's going to. That's probably why he would move a wide receiver to the running back room. And so, yeah, I just think I feel like it's going to be the early LaShawn McCoy days back there in the running. Where hey, here's a screen pass, make a play, let's get some blocks out and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue with that, but I will just say this too. We have been spoiled with the Chiefs. That's the truth.
Oh yeah, that is
spoiled.
Well, the last couple of years we've been spoiled.
The past few years, they have hit on so many draft picks, including late round draft picks. Right. I mean, Trey Smith was a 5th round, 6th round draft pick,
right? And
now he's franchise tag, making him the highest paid guard in the league, as we mentioned earlier. Kareem Hunt, I know he had his struggles here and went on elsewhere too, but late round pick, I believe he was 7th round as well. I mean. Huge career for a 7th rounder. Isaiah Pacheco, I believe, also a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we've been spoiled that these 7th round picks are working out.
Yeah.
But in reality, most 7th round picks do not work out that way.
Yeah.
Basically, you're just saying, we want this guy to be for sure on our roster for training camp.
Right.
That's really what you're saying with 7th round picks. And yes, I'm not saying there's not hope that all these guys are going to pan out. They wouldn't pick them if they didn't think they could pan out.
Right.
But we've just been so spoiled that I think we have to reel in our expectations a little bit that every 7th round pick is not going to work out as much as we want it to.
Oh yeah, but it's exciting. I think Royal's going to be really good. I mean, a lot of people thought he would have went higher in the draft, but he dropped to the Chiefs. Yeah, and so I mean, I think I watched a little YouTube clip of what the heck's his name? He played for the Panthers and the Ravens, 89.
Talking about, is it DJ Moore? Is that who you're talking about?
What's his name? He was an old
player. Wide receiver?
Yeah, wide receiver.
Played for the Panthers
and the Ravens. He played for Utah.
Well,
man,
you're not helping me, giving me the college. Most NFL guys, I follow NFL.
Yeah, it was an older
closely.
Yeah, older guy.
I'm sure if you said it, I'd know. But
anyway, he was talking about. He's like, this guy he dropped, and whoever got him is going to get a deal. And so I think the Chiefs. So Royals is pretty exciting too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the guy that everybody is talking about the most outside of Josh Simmons.
Right.
Like the media is talking about him, the fans are talking about him. For whatever reason, everybody is high on Josh Royals, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be high on Royals. Sorry, not Josh, Jalen Royals.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't be high on Jalen Royals, but man, I also think there's a reason he went in the 4th round and not the 2nd or 3rd round, including the Chiefs pass on him those previous rounds too.
Right.
So all I'm trying to say is I'm excited for these guys too. But let's not set the bar so high for all these guys that if they don't have Pro Bowl years that they're failures, because some of these guys, unfortunately, are probably not going to be in the league in 3 years. That's just how most picks go once you get past the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's a lot of upside there too. I think I'm not trying to curb your enthusiasm or anything else.
No, I know. No.
At all. So I want these guys to work out. I want them to be huge hits. So I think the guy I'm most excited for is this defensive end they drafted out of Louisville.
Okay.
Gillette,
I
think that, man, having another solid pass rusher is going to do nothing but help. And they drafted another defensive line out of Tennessee earlier in that round as well. And so, man, I think both those guys, but especially the defensive end of Louisville, Gillette, I think he
looks
potentially be fantastic. He seems to have a motor on him. I'm not saying that he's at this guy's level, but you know how TJ Watt just has a motor on him that doesn't stop?
Yep.
Not saying he's TJ Watt, so don't misunderstand me, but I'm just saying he seems to have a motor on him kind of like this guy. And so I think, man, if if we can get another solid pass rusher, which is what I've been yelling for the
Yeah.
last couple
Oh,
of years,
yeah.
anyways. So
Yeah.
that was going to probably be my pick, anyways. But if you can get him going with a Minhue on the other side, because
Yeah.
man,
And George, don't forget about George.
oh yeah, and George, right?
Yeah.
So George Karlaftis, so man, that might be a big thing. So
Chris Jones in the middle there. I think you're exactly right. I mean, you saw like not only the Chiefs, but a lot of the league went O-line, D-line. And I think a lot of it was because of the Super Bowl. I mean, we got dominated on the offensive line and the defensive line all game. And so, yeah, I think that everyone kind of realized that and said, okay, we need offensive line players and defensive line players. And so the Chiefs are trying to fix their offensive line and trying to make their defensive line even better than it already is.
yeah, I can agree more. So I think that if they're able to do that, it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So here's the question after this. So we got through offseason moves, draft picks. Where is the biggest one or two question marks on the Chiefs roster, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think we talked about just a little bit earlier is the safeties. The safety, who's going to play safety, who's going to fill that Justin Reed role. And then I think the other question mark is the offensive line. What is it going to look like? Obviously, hopefully it'll be better. Hopefully it'll be more cohesive. But losing Tooney and then adding some rookies, adding some other players that haven't really proved themselves. I think that Jalen Moore only has 12 starts. Like he's played 55 games, but he only has 12 starts. So, and of course, when you back up the greatest tight or left tackle ever, you're not going to have a lot of starts, unless he was hurt. And I think, So, I just think that some of those things, those are the two big things that are glaring. The wide receiver room, I'm excited about, but not really question marks, I guess. And then our tight end room, I guess I have a question mark. What is Travis Kelce going to look like? He can look thin in camp and come and run routes, but if we get the same production that we got last year, man, it's not worth it.
Yeah, well, and it's easy when no one's hitting you.
Yes.
So, and I'm not saying by any means that I could do it.
No, not at all.
But in the NFL, these guys, it's easy to run routes when no one's trying to hit you. It's a lot harder to run routes and get open when you know a hit is coming. Yeah. And Travis Kelce's never shied away from hits, so I'm not implying that. But your routes can look a little more crisp in camp than they can on the field. Yeah. So we'll see how all that pans out. But, I agree. I think the safety position is the biggest question mark on defense. Losing Justin Reed, so for all those same reasons you just said. Yeah. You might even be able to throw a cornerback in there a little bit. I think they're still trying to figure out how to replace last year's loss in Snead, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have McDuffie. They drafted a guy. They pulled this guy Fulton over from the Chargers. They're still trying to fill that need. And neither one of us mentioned the cornerback they drafted as a guy we're looking for. We both mentioned this quarterback they brought in from the Chargers has injury background, and so I think that's still a big question mark. So basically, the secondary of the Chiefs' defense, that's the question mark. That secondary, and I think on the offensive side, for the offensive line, for sure, losing Joe Tooney, trying to figure out that left tackle position. So basically, that whole left side of the offensive line, and then
right tackle. Don't forget the right tackle.
I was about to say, and you still have Jawan Taylor at right tackle.
Right, yeah.
He plays much better than people give him credit for, but he doesn't play to the caliber that he's being paid for.
Exactly.
So,
some people think he's a running back. How far in the backfield he lines
up. He might be. So, but to what you just said, running back is my biggest question mark on the offense.
Oh, yeah.
Because did you know, I heard this just the other day, in Patrick Mahomes' career as a starter, he's never had a 1,000-yard rusher.
Really?
Yeah, they've never had a 1,000-yard rusher with him. So I didn't look it up to verify that, but I heard on a sports thing. So I'm going to assume that they did their research and that it's true. But if that's the case, what would this offense look like if they actually had a running attack to go with their passing attack?
Well, that makes sense because the year he played with Kareem Hunt, the first year, that Kareem Hunt got in trouble about the 1st of December. And so he went and probably got 1,000 yards by then. And so that would probably be his best. Anyway, all right. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, because his rookie year, Mahomes wasn't the starter that
Right.
Kareem Hunt went off. So, and I think
Yeah.
Hunt had 1,000 yards that year, but
Yep.
Mahomes was not the starter. So, I
Wow.
think yeah, a running back is position
That's
is the
shocking.
one that I would put a question mark around.
There you go.
And I might also even circle the wide receivers, honestly, because I know we had a lot of injuries last year, but
Right.
man, I need somebody to step up. I need
Yeah.
somebody to
We
step
need
up. And
Hollywood
Worthy,
Brown, Worthy. Rice looks good already,
yeah,
which we'll talk
Rice looked
about. Yeah.
really good last year before his injury.
Oh,
So,
man.
I mean, honestly, if he can stay healthy,
My boy Juju.
I don't know. Man, I know. We both talked about that before. He might not have a bunch of stats, but that guy does everything.
Yeah. You just need
Juju,
to.
big fan. Big
I just
fan of
encourage
Juju.
you watch. I just encourage you to watch Juju. Like you may watch the game normally, but then go back, rewatch it, and just watch number 9 and how he plays, how he blocks, how he runs every route. Like he's going to get the ball. It's incredible.
Yeah,
So
absolutely it is.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's probably a good one. Because I know we're going to have tight ends, and I know we're going to have Noah Gray. He's solid. I know we got the new tight end Wiley that really hasn't done much. So yeah, I think, but yeah, the tight end room and then the running back room. Yeah, who's going to step up and take the ball and say, hey, I'm the running back.
Yeah. And I'd say to your point too, where you said an offensive line, I think that is a question mark, but I just think honestly with our draft pick with Josh Simmons looking so healthy, maybe I'm just overly optimistic about him at this point since they said he's going to be there for training camp.
Yeah.
But they talked about him being ready for training camp. They got Jalen Moore coming in from the 49ers. I just feel like they're going to have that figured out by the time the season comes around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's why I don't feel like it is a question mark, but not as big of a question mark as like the running back position.
Right.
I need somebody to have 1,000-yard season. And I know they do a lot more by committee, but their starter, like Isaiah Pacheco, he should have 1,000 yards. He should. So.
And the question mark, I would just like to see who's going to be what. I mean, 2019, we lost the Super Bowl because of our offensive line. Or just 2020, May 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah. And then they rebuilt the offensive line in a year. Got Joe Thuney, got, all these Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. And it just, so Orlando Brown. I almost said Orlando Pace, but that is not right. That is Orlando Brown.
Would not be it. I'd love to have Orlando Pace, though. That guy's fantastic.
Oh, we're old when we're talking about like 2000s, 90s players.
Oh man, I know.
Like Donnie Edwards, man. I can see that 59 just flying around hitting people, dude.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. All right,
I showed my son the other day Jamal Charles highlights.
Oh man, I just thought about that. He probably doesn't even remember him, huh?
He has no idea. Yeah, so young. He had no idea. He goes, I've heard of Jamal Charles, but I've never seen him. Like,
man, did you show him the Raiders game when he had 5 touchdowns?
Yes, that was one of the.
I mean, I know a lot of those were on screen passes. But that guy was so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah. So fun.
Some of the most yards per carry of anybody in NFL history.
Yeah, I think it was like 5.3 yards per carry.
If he's not number 1, he's number 2. But he is one of the highest yards per carry running backs in NFL history. Okay, it's incredible. Right. Incredible. So, all right. Well, let's jump into one last thing before we wrap this up here. The Chiefs' 2025 NFL schedule. So, lots going on with this. Lots to be said about it. Their first game is actually overseas in Brazil even. What are your initial thoughts when seeing this schedule, though?
I don't. I'm glad it was a Chargers home game, not a Chiefs home game.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
And I understand that this whole international movement, it's not going to stop, right? We're not stopping it. I mean, it's here. People are going to play overseas. But yeah, I think, definitely a winnable schedule. I mean, I would dare say 20-0.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and say 19-1 because they play the Bills in the regular season.
There you go.
So
yeah, they're going to lose to the Bills.
They just seem to always drop that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of things to be said about that. They got the most primetime games of anybody. They got 6, I believe, this year, maybe 7. But but they have both the Thanksgiving game and the Christmas game. Yeah. The NFL wants them on TV. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah.
They want them on TV.
So we're playing the AFC South and then the NFC East. And then mixed in with some of the Bills, the Ravens, and then our normal divisional games. So,
Right.
yeah, so it'll be pretty fun to see what happens. And those are pretty two not easy conference or divisions, but some of the easier cupcakes. Maybe the Giants. Hopefully we can chalk up as a win. Maybe the Cowboys we could chalk up as a win.
Yeah.
The Titans.
I would sure hope so.
Yeah. So, any game on that schedule that you're like, oh yeah, I'm circling this bad boy.
Man, there's several good ones. I think the Chiefs got a favorable home schedule this year. They got the Eagles at home, the Ravens at home, the Lions at home, the Redskins at home, which I think they're coming on.
Oh yeah.
They got the Texans at home. I mean, those are all out of conference or out of division games that they get at home. So I think that's huge. Man, I don't know if there's any. I like to go with what my friend Nick Wright says. all these regular season games, they're just preseason games, getting ready for the real season when the playoffs start.
That's right.
So, I mean, if there's any of those I'd want to see, it's got to be the Eagles because the rematch of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, and I think I'm excited that we got the Chargers so early, the first game. That's going to be really good because Andy Reid in September is unbelievable. Number one, and number two, I just think the Chargers and the Broncos are going to be super good here in the next couple of years. It's going to make the division really hard. Not saying the Chiefs can't win, but I just think it's going to be tough games.
Yeah, well, and we didn't even talk about our division, but they all had great drafts. You could even argue that the AFC West has the best coaching of any division.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think it's close.
No.
You got Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, right? John, or is it Jim? I always get the two mixed up.
Jim Harbaugh. You got Pete Carroll, and you got Sean Payton. Yeah.
I mean, 3 of the 4 are Super Bowl winning head coaches. So
yeah, probably all Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I think you could. Harbaugh would be the one to be the biggest question mark.
Right.
But definitely has a resume leaning towards that, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So, all right, any of these games you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think the Philly game. Can't wait till Sirianni comes in and leaves crying.
Man, I sure hope so. That'd be fantastic. Hope he's got tears streaming down his face.
Yeah, so maybe he'll cry at the national anthem again. Who knows?
Yeah, it'd be all right by me. So it's going to be a fun season. I'm excited to see what the 2025 Kansas City Chiefs are going to look like. I think they got some great draft picks, made some good offseason moves. But as always, they got question marks like every NFL roster as well. So real quick, what are the Chiefs' Super Bowl chances for next year?
Oh, I mean,
do they have a shot to make it to the Super Bowl? Like if you were, what percentage chance do you give them to win the Super Bowl next year?
80% chance.
That is high. I'll take it. I was gonna say like 53 or something, just a little over 50%, which I still think's high. But 80, I'll take that all day.
80%. I mean, so, Mahomes' his new haircut. Travis Kelce's riding off in the sunset with a Super Bowl trophy in his hand, and Taylor Swift in the other. That's what's going to happen.
He's going to get a ring and then put a ring on her. Yeah. So it'll be fantastic. So. Well, thanks for joining us this episode of the Kingdom Corner. This episode is brought to you by Oh Hey Threads, where a portion of every purchase goes to support missions all over the world. One super soft tee at a time. You can get your own Chiefs gear. Oh Hey Threads sells that. They also sell gear for the Kingdom Corner podcast. You can check them out at ohheythreads.com. Thanks for joining us this episode. We'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.